Hi, I'm Graham Standish. I'm, again, the Executive Director of Samaritan Counseling Guidance and Consulting in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area. And as you know, over the course of 2020, we have been doing a series called the Fruitful Life Series. And the Fruitful Life Series has focused on ways of living that actually make life better. And for this month, I want to talk to you about gratitude, about living a grateful life. I've actually been heavily influenced by several people who were people through the way they lived their lives taught me that if you really want a happy life, you need to cultivate a grateful life. Four people who really influenced me, and I'm going to tell you their names because they've passed on, but their legacy hasn't. I've been really heavily influenced by four women that I knew while I was a pastor, both an associate pastor in a church and the senior pastor of a church. Women like Virginia Husted, or June Worstel, or Jo Jones, or Betty Alexander. These are people who demonstrated through their lives what a life of gratitude can be. These were women who inspired other people through the example of their lives, even though they never saw themselves as being inspiring. They were also women who often lived difficult lives, but they faced their lives not by becoming pessimistic and cynical, but by becoming grateful. Grateful for the people around them, grateful for the opportunities they've had in life, grateful for life. I remember one of them, Virginia, who I remember visiting her in the hospital easily 30 years ago. And I went to the hospital because Virginia had just been diagnosed with liver cancer. And she was in the hospital, and the whole time I was there, I was thinking to myself, well, how am I going to talk to this person? How am I going to make it better for this person who has liver cancer and really has been told she didn't have much longer to live? I went and visited her in the hospital room, and she was smiling when I came in. We talked about her condition, and she was sad, and it upset her. But at the same time, all she wanted to talk about was how grateful she was for her family, for God's presence, for the life that she had lived, for the opportunities that she had had. And by the time I walked out of that hospital room, it wasn't me who ministered to her. It was her who ministered to me. And she did it out of this sense of gratitude. The truth is, we live in such a competitive, success-focused world that it can be actually hard to find people who are truly deeply happy in their lives. Especially during this pandemic, it can be even harder to feel happy when we're stuck at home and we're listening to just this polarizing division that's all around. I can tell you right now, when I go online or often when I hear what people have to say or what they're thinking, much of it is being critical and cynical and complaining. And I have to say, when I am listening to those people or when I'm paying attention to what they're writing, they actually suck the energy out of me. They suck life out of me. Because that's what people who lack gratitude, that's what people who live in skepticism and pessimism and cynicism do. They suck life out of us. But what made Virginia and June and Jo and Betty stand out was their gratitude, especially in difficult times. Each one of those people had a difficult life, but each one looked for what's right rather than what's wrong. They looked for what was good rather than what was bad. They looked at what could be done rather than what can't be done. And they looked for what to be grateful for rather than what to complain about. These are people who did not live easy lives at all. But in the end, they were people who gave life to other people. When people are around them, they gained energy because their gratitude filled others with gratitude. They chose to be grateful. And that choice is something they discovered, and we can discover, really leads to a life of happiness and joy, no matter what's going on around us. I'll see you next week when we continue our discussion about gratitude.